Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to play Not For Broadcast. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about $15. I stress early access, that means the game is still under development, and as such, everything that you're about to see here is subject to change. I covered the prologue/demo back in December, and now that the game is on Steam's Early Access program, we're going to take another quick look at it. Although there may be some repeat content, so just be warned, if you've seen the prior video in December, there may be some overlap there, but it really can't be helped. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Options menu, game. You've got your sliders here, master, TV, screens, room, and music. I'll go ahead and increase the volumes once we actually get into game. And then under graphics, we've got screen resolution, VSync, ambient occlusion, shadow resolution, and spotlight shadows. Alright, let's go ahead, start a new game. DGA is fine. Alright, DGA 2. 3, there we go.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, now, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so, you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Four old ladies from East Grincham. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871.
You should be getting a signal from the studio soon.
9 p.m. Sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay,
Moving on
we're
up.
all good.
The election
Next
win
is going to be the
that
throw to the
also
news
said pretty
titles
happy.
on screen 2.
Hopeful or
There'll be a
hostile.
countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right. Button
That's
2
all coming up on
in
tonight.
3,
National
2,
Nightly News.
1. Lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when then that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Bit early there, mate.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide
Listen, mate, we often get a bit of interference around this time of night, so keep your eye on the machine on the bottom right. You can move that white dot up and down, avoiding the interference using the yellow knob or your scroll wheel.
Of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly.
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
We'll be going live to Advance HQ to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3,
That's all coming
2,
up.
1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you.
Now you can
thought that
have
was our
me,
little secret.
Johnny Hamsley, right there in your lounge.
Johnny!
Match time, happy time.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multi-cam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1, try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2, don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3, don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough, then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody.
With Johnny Hamsley.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get
our
ready to
very
go to
own
Megan
reporter,
on screen 4.
Megan Wolf, is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to
Shop
Blunderclatch
films.
on screen 3 when she says his
Joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's
He's a
reaction.
wonderful chap.
Lovely.
Really
Now
is.
back to Thunder Twat.
I worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this
Get
movie
back to who's
is quite an
talking.
academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although Those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience.
Jeez.
I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
No,
He did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week
Right,
around
they've
the
swapped the
country.
shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Watch out for that interference, mate.
Doctor.
I don't understand it.
Cool, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio. I'd love to hear what he's saying, but don't switch to it now. You can go to the archive when the broadcast's done. We keep everything.
I don't know that.
No, Lance, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
It's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world, do you remember? Go there, listen to you.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this!
The virus. The sterility. This phone there, this is the key.
We can stop it all.
At the
Yes!
end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
If we should.
This is so bad.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm, and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Only 85 minutes from the coast, and with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural interest. Isn't it time your family...
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your
And a
keyboard,
lawyer and a
1 to
TV
4.
personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh shit, it's missed.
Shall I start?
Go for it, Pat.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of... Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from and our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now.
Good job,
Thanks for
everybody.
real, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Same old boring politics then.
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Week by week, and very soon you'll have...
I think this is where the prologue ended. So as you guys saw, it was like a Papers, Please-esque kind of game where you have to manage multiple things at once. I'm liking it so far, to be honest.
I left you a voicemail. I thought you'd end up here. Most people come into the archive room when they're done with a broadcast. That way you can see what you did and how it looked to the public. As you can see, there's 3 sections to the archive. Broadcasts, that's what you've put out. Rushes, which is all the stuff that was on all the screens. And adverts, which is any advert that you've chosen to show. So let's have a look at the broadcasts. Okay, on the left you can see all the broadcasts that you've done. You can also get to hear from the main menu if you don't actually want to do a broadcast, you just want to see some of your past work. Select any of those and click Load Tape. Why not watch what you just did? When you're done, hit back.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight.
Right, click on Rushes and let's have a look at those. Okay, these 4 screens, they're exactly the same as the 4 screens that feed you the studio signal when you're doing the actual news. Of course, the difference here is you can mute any screen you like or any combination of screens and you can have a listen to what was going on behind the scenes. Just select any segment, that's any bit between ad breaks over on the left, and hit play. When you're done checking out the backstage secrets, hit back.
Alright, for whatever reason, nothing's low. Oh, there we go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out and pustule.
It might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
Oh, but this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
I know. I think they think you won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. It's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do 1 beastly interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Alright, so we get to see things that we didn't see during the show. Alright, fine. Upon starting a new job, you would be productive and get to work immediately. I'd report it. Yeah. Leave work on time, stay late to ensure you hit the first deadline, leave work early. Leave work on time. Yes. Refuse to attend. That's me. Relax alone. That's fine. None of these things, but, I guess, fine. It's weird. I didn't expect like a story behind the scenes. I was expecting more video editing. Yeah, you're not taking my passport, dude. Yeah, no way. Achievement unlocked. Screw the 1%. Uh-huh. Should we play Is This Toy Safe? Okay. I have to do it now.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes.
Going in 5,
But before all
4,
that,
3.
it's time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's National Night.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical freethinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehearts. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, But thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flood technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is now leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was
I gotta try it.
out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have been celebrating a little bit too much. I certainly wouldn't want to be his dry cleaner. And grievous bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective, with more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight. Are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, and mega morph with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't...
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiarts. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by?
Absolutely fucking fine, I tell you. How's it going, actually? Fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later. Bye.
I don't know what she meant by that.
Things even better. With a vast range of activities available, building the nation's future has never been so rewarding. With the Go-Getters, you can be sure that your children will be well equipped in the march towards progress.
She's good, you know she is.
Set up a word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Little Jakey's scared of the big bird caught you with water.
If that sticks,
Bring
I'll
in
destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg?
We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
No, just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive,
Wow.
can you put him back in his box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You go back in your gimp space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of this...
Where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty boy.
Clive, I am not having this again.
My God.
Naughty, you beast.
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swat. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we'll try to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. What now, fellas? I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we...
The three amigos now.
Signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, las bolitas!
No, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes? Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally waiting.
Oh my
for 2
gosh.
seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the
Hi, Last Prince. Yes, there's supposed to be an echo. You can control the volumes for both TVs.
We'll be back after these messages.
The reason I need the echo for the second TV is so I can hear the sensor.
Well,
piss off.
Smooth, incisive journalism.
I can have you fired.
I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the Vision Mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be? This is on you. 10 seconds, everybody.
Coming to a city near you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black, I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one. I'm joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle
I
believed
just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
and teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
Yeah. That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah? Because in a way, she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, Coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grants?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then, Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny, because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic, mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look
I
at
missed
the
it.
short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears.
What?
Another day of fears.
Fears.
But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh, heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist! Going somewhere, little first year? Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father? Violent father.
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Whoever's talking is who I have to point the camera to, basically.
What? Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, Coach.
Just keep going, for fuck's sake!
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money. Now. Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist. Not today.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? What do you mean not today? My arm's free, Coach.
Brilliant, keep going!
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team.
Yeah!
And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all three of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
What the heck am I doing?
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Hey, listen up, I won't
Ugh.
take no crap. Who says middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew
Oh,
up
I
in
have to
a
time
council
it.
estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner. He had to wait. Oh, where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Oh, where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong. Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
What the little fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Hydrogen monoxide right from your pores to give you the crisp, brittle skin you've got.
I did terrible on that one. Holy cow.
Hello, mate. I see they've got the store back. That's great. I love fucking shopping. Sorry. Bit of a big night, to be honest. Anyway, over here, that's how much money you've got. You'll get more money the better the broadcast you do. These tabs take you to the bits and pieces and sections of the store. You can fix stuff, you can upgrade stuff, or you can just buy really cool stuff to put around the studio. Right, mate, and the final thing you gotta know, if you want to buy something, you just click on it and go ka-ching, but there's no refunds. No refunds, so take care, make sensible decisions. Don't be like Dave.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
Alright, so it looks like there's some dialogue in between each of these video editing sessions. Yeah, you're not going out late on a school night, sorry. Nope. You check in on them before heading to bed. Alright. I don't know if those mean anything, but... Oh, this is really ridiculous, don't get me wrong. Yeah, sure. Alright, yeah, let's just get past this dialogue. I don't even think it's necessary. Unless it ties in somewhere with this video editing stuff, but... Oh my gosh. You know, I'm just gonna breeze through this. My favorite part of this game is the video editing, not this. My gosh. Is this a choose your own adventure or is this a video editing game? Advanced Go letters. Whatever. No. I'll watch Netflix instead. Wow. All returns are based on public opinion. Please select from one of the following. I don't know, because... Fine. Finally. I don't mind the live action, Nev. I think it's funny, personally. It's so over the top ridiculous.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show, total pimp, like a god.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such pricks?
That well,
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his faith.
No.
Sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talked to you.
You're probably just a really awful date.
It's
10
another
seconds,
chance
everybody.
to view the sports
Like I
board final
said,
at
all of you.
11:45.
Did your personality
before the
actually
weather
slip
and
up?
close
Pricks.
down.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring escape attempt. If a group of fungus experts can't fix the most advanced craft ever conceived by man, then who can?
LaBeouf avoided. As the last Mr. Snugglehugs is found and destroyed, we ask, how could we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy. How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Julia Salisbury, who mobilised numerous government resources to recall the product immediately after the first blindings, said today that the new advance mark, which must be earned by all new products, would be a 100% ironclad guarantee of safety and quality.
Fallen angel? Notorious addict Johnny Hamsleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Since being banned from the national squad earlier this year after urinating on a referee during a friendly against East Grinchley, things seem to have gone from bad to worse for Hamsleeves.
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
Described as a breakthrough far ahead of its time, the male contraceptive pill is heralding a sexual revolution. Its fans are celebrating the fact that men can finally take equal responsibility for contraception, but others have expressed concerns over its safety and side effects.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's
National Nightly News.
Oops. I played an advertisement by accident. Alright, retry.
Mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. From him. My God, that was fantastic.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such pricks?
That well,
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his fate.
No.
Sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talked to you.
It probably is a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody.
Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Time for the National Nightly News with Jeremy Johnson and
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
Critics have been quick to dismiss the graffiti as a publicity stunt, or an act of frustration by a tiny, disorganized group of those who will never, under any circumstances, be content.
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg and Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cavern's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
LaBeouf avoided. As the last Mr. Snugglehogs is found and destroyed, we ask, how could we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy. How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Julia Salisbury, who mobilised numerous government resources to recall the product immediately after the first blindings, said today that the new advance mark, which must be earned by all new products, will be a 100% ironclad guarantee of safety and quality.
Fallen angel? Notorious addict Johnny Hamsleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Let's hope that the team at the Gentle Touches Rehabilitation Centre can help Johnny get back to his former glory. Johnny's family have asked for privacy during this difficult time. We'll have reporters at the clinic around the clock, so you don't miss a thing.
Is this one stellar role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
When only a Flard will do, you need the Flardmaster 5000. That's the slogan accompanying the announcement that has rocked the construction industry this morning. The breakthrough device for aiding in installation is sure to change the way we see the humble Flard.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
There we go.
But first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their wealth and standards of living increase considerably, for some, the transition has not been as pleasant.
That's right, Megan. The formerly aristocratic members of our society have had to make major adjustments to come to terms with the new regime.
Robin Short is in suburbia investigating rumours that these previously privileged people may be planning some kind of protest. Robin?
Thanks, Megan. I'm here in Moderate Hatchings to talk to Wentworth and Penelope Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the house you see behind me after Advance passed the Assets and Wealth Act on their first day in office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new lives?
But quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. Our neighbours are whitewatters.
It's simply untenable. I hope you'll forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much spatting.
Steady now, Penelope. Sorry, Robin, my sister's under a lot of pressure. She had to dress herself this morning and she still hasn't quite recovered, Robin.
My goodness, that must have been quite a shock.
She really struggles with ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little gaddis spatch only has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room are the same bloody place. Imagine that, having all one's grub in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you say to the people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long, and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for fuss's sake. Only one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right bloody question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason.
I think our toilet butler was from Swinstead. Dear George. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. I remember! Daddy tried to shoot him in the buttocks and he ran off into the woods. You know, that's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
We will rise and rebel.
Yes.
We wage war on our revolting rulers with righteous words and rebellious writings. Our best guess in our quest for redress is to divest our breasts in an unrest bear just protest.
Yes.
Oh, what's that?
Daddy! Daddy, it's
Oh,
something!
please don't do that. We can't show this on the news.
Right, you buggers! Carry ho! Tilly!
Oh my god. I can't show that! Fine.
The protest has started already. Nice sharp work, boy.
Thanks, Daddy.
He gets that from me, you know.
And forgive me, what are you trying to achieve here?
We just want to be footing well heard, that's all.
Language, Penelope. We are nude, not rude.
Sorry, Daddy.
We want the world to realise we won't roll over and run away. We will revolt. We will rise again.
Yes, we bloody well will. Stuff and pip pop.
Daddy, how could you?
Shut up and get your
Well, Jeremy, Megan, as this embryonic protest movement takes one in the top zone, it's back here in the studio. I'm Robin Short, struggling surreptitiously in moderate hatchings.
Thanks, Robin. Let's Hey, Megan.
Speak for yourself there, Jeremy, but I've seen enough sharp work to last me a lifetime.
I'm sure you have. But can a naked protest movement ever really catch on? It doesn't seem like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy, this country is becoming a very different place.
Yes, but seriously, who's going to run around naked in our weather?
Oh, hopefully not you, Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the slogans.
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. Oh, sorry, I'm busting. Oh.
She's funny.
Yes, I know. I think it's very endearing.
She wants your job.
She's welcome to it. Why is it raining on my desk?
Alex, Bozeman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake.
Great.
Wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
Start your collection today and we'll send you the first 8 editions with no postage or packing. That's right, no postage, no packing. Plus you'll also receive this exclusive little bit of drill bit absolutely free. So, what are you waiting for? Start collecting today. With week 10, you'll receive this screwdriver handle. The joy of screws. The only complete collection of real, authentic, genuine reproduction screw replicas. Collection is for display purposes only. The items are ornamental replicas and not for use.
Again, have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi Hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brains. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy.
What are they doing?
Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shot number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing under her legs. Not bad if you ask me. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. Apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore.
Jeez.
Yeah, all right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fitted thumb screw? We haven't seen that at the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, I've always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and several subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington's Fist. Must be some music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. and ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dancer, to be fair. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face, security's on it, and the bucket's been knocked over! I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for you to see. Really
Get him out of there, for crying out loud!
And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again. And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't. Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to Striker. And Striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame. Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. There we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, there's sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. What's going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters, absolute wasters. Oh, jog on! It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go anywhere at this point. Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport. The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on, from Striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official. Contestants in, please.
And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is... everyone!
Okay, the ref has agreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15 16th win the
The
Sports
hell
Board
is
Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Calling on the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon.
What in the world is going on?
Tonight, and all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there at an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Oh, yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Boozman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit, dangerous. Now, I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Boozman out.
Sorry about all these buckets. We, seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple single, shouldn't wonder.
We'll look into it.
Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolfe, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolfe.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
Is your seat done?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
So much dripping on there.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yeah, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera?
Oh,
there.
sorry, it's camera 4.
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. We had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope. 3 days later, he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half-time.
That sounds...
Oh, it was awful. were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't. Or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. The people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline into
Are you okay?
I don't know, I think it's from my asshole.
We're still on the air, Peter.
Yes, sorry, my apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, a no-shell face, fucker! That one was massive! Right, no, this bastard's coming off!
Sorry, that the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable. Oh, fuck my grandmother with a rusty twat!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information clip tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
Good job, everybody.
Do you suffer?
So they
from
just...
benign
The same, sir.
enlargement?
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's for my nephew, so I'll be transitioned the moment I start the leak.
That was ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was it. Alright, we'll skip that.
Hi, I'm Den.
Harry.
I'm Andy.
Lame. I'm Jay. Really old. And I'm Alex. Unbelievable twat.
Thank you so much for playing our game in early access. It's only through your amazing support that we can tell the awesome story that we have.
If you've enjoyed it, and we really hope you have,
Then please tell people about it.
or maybe leave us a review on our Steam page, or come and talk to us in the discussions. It really does help, and we do read.
Interesting that the developers actually leave a video in their own game. I've never really seen that before. That's I actually like that. Okay, so apparently there's another episode coming out for this game. Alright, so... First impressions of this... Let's just turn all that down. Okay. I don't know, like, I like the managing. I mean, it's got that Papers, Please feel where everything is chaotic. I love managing the different video screens. I like, bleeping. But it got really crazy toward the end. I couldn't touch certain buttons because of the electric shock. I don't like nudity on TV, so when the people were running around on the different screens, I had to pan away from them, and... Like, some of it was too much for me. Definitely not appropriate for kids. Lots of swearing, obviously some blurred nudity there. So, I don't know. Like, for kids, obviously this is not a game for them to play. So if you're a parent and you've got this in your Steam library, don't let them play it. But other than that, like, the game isn't bad. I like what it tries to do, but I don't know. Like, the jury's still out on this one. I kind of enjoyed episode 1, kind of, sort of. Didn't care for the nudity parts, but other than that, it was okay. So I guess with that being said, I don't know when episode 2 is coming out, but the game is still early access, so we'll just have to wait and see. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. I do have a Patreon page. I do a shout-out video every month for all of my Patreon and Twitch subscribers. And I also give out free Steam keys to my top 3 supporters on Patreon. So if you haven't supported me there yet, feel free to. Alright, well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.